All right, welcome to Game 5 of the 1980 World Series. The Philadelphia Phillies lead this series 3-1, and they're looking to put away the Kansas City Royals in this one. This was played on October 19th, 1980, and let's jump right into the game. For the Phillies, it's going to be Pete Rose leading off and playing first base. Bake McBride goes into the second hole. He's playing in right field. Mike Schmidt is in the 3-hole playing third. Greg Luzinski gets the start in left field. Keith Moreland is the DH in this one. He's batting fifth. Gary Maddox is in center batting sixth. Manny Trio, the second baseman, is batting seventh. Larry Bowa is playing short and hitting eighth. And Bob Moon is the catcher. He's hitting ninth. On the mound is Marty Bistrom. Right-hander, can go 24 batters for his stamina and a 2.70 SIERA. Sorry, a FIP. For the Royals, it's going to be Willie Wilson leading off and playing left. Frank White gets the start and at second base, and he's batting in the 2-hole again. George Brett at third base is going to be the third hitter in the lineup. Willie Aikens is the cleanup man. He's playing at first base. Hal McRae is the DH. He's hitting fifth. Amos Otis is in center field, batting sixth. Glenn Hurdle gets a start in right field. He's hitting seventh. Darrell Porter, left-handed hitting catcher, is hitting eighth. And U.L. Washington gets the start at shortstop. He's in the 9-hole. So we're ready to go. We got Larry Gura on the mound. Gura, the number one the starter for Kansas City. He was 18-10 in 36 games. 2.95 ERA, 283 1/3 innings pitched. He hasn't had a great World Series, really a great postseason, but let's see if he can turn it on here. Marty Bistrom, on the other hand, has been very good in the games that he's pitched. So, let's get this one started. Larry Gura, the left-hander. On the mound, he can go 33 batters for his stamina, a 3.73 FIP. So he's a column 2 pitcher. Marty Bistrom is a column 1 pitcher, and we'll see how this one goes. Can Kansas City hang on? That is the question. 36 to Pete Rose is going to be a base hit to right center field. And Rose is at first with nobody out. Brings up Bake McBride to the plate. McBride lefty on lefty matchup. 15, that's going to be a grounder to third. We'll get that fielder's choice at second base. But McBride beats it out, and that's going to be safe at first on a 5-4 fielder's choice. McBride at 1-6. Don't really want to jeopardize Mike Schmidt's at bat here. A 14 is going to be a long single that goes to right field. So that's going to be actually turns into a double for Mike Schmidt, and the double pushes the runner to third base. So Philadelphia in business in the first inning against Larry Gura. Brings up Greg Luzinski. A 56 is going to be a strikeout. So a big strikeout there from Gura. As we have 2 down now with 2 on. A base hit scores 2. And Keith Moreland comes to the plate. Only 62 games played for Moreland. Did hit .314 with 4 home runs. 15 is going to be a base hit down the left field line. That's going to score 2 runs, and Philadelphia is going to take a 2-0 lead. And what they hope is the deciding game of this 1980 World Series. So McBride and Schmidt both come home to score on the Keith Moreland single, and that brings up Gary Maddox. 26, that's going to be a ground out to the pitcher. No error on the play. So we'll go to first base, and that's the third out of the inning. But Philadelphia puts 2 runs on the board in the first. They take a 2-0 lead as we head to the bottom of the first inning. For Kansas City, it's going to be Willie Wilson, Frank White, and George Brett. Sorry. The 25 is a fly out to left field. No error on the play. The left fielder is Luzinski. He'll make the catch for out number 1. Brings up Frank White. Minus 18 batting runs. Not great, but he's going to ground out a little tapper to the catcher. up the first base line, and he makes a good throw to get Frank White at first. Brings up George Brett. Brett, 59 batting runs. He's going to take a walk here off of Bystrom's card. That brings up Willie Aikens with a runner at first and 2 outs. And that's going to be back-to-back walks. One of the ways to kill yourself is to walk batters. But we'll see if Hal McRae can take advantage. A 25, that'll be a fly out to left field. Possible error on the play. Luzinski is a minus, so that's going to be an E7. And that's going to lead to a 2-base error with 2 outs. We treat that like a single. And so 1 run is going to come in to score because on a fly ball, everybody's running, right? So you're basically treating that like a single. So Amos Otis to the plate, runners at the corners. A 45 is going to be a single to center field. No error on the play. And that's going to be another run scored. McRae will just stop him there at second. Actually, he gets 2. And then he'll come in. With 2 outs, I always give an extra base. And we're tied at 2 after the Luzinski error opens the gates here. So we got runners at the corners with 2 outs. 22 to Clint Hurdle is going to be a double into the left center field gap. That double is going to score everybody as it clears the bases. And Kansas City breaking out here in the first inning against Marty Bystrom as they put up 4 runs in the first to take a 4-2 lead. Darrell Porter to the plate. A 36, that's going to be another walk. Runners at first and second now with 2 down. And U.L. Washington stands in. He is batting left-handed against the righty Bystrom. 55 is going to be a line out. And that's a line drive to left field. Caught by the left fielder Luzinski. And that'll be the 3rd out. So 2 quick outs in the inning and then a lot of scoring. So Kansas City puts up a 4 spot in the first and they take a 4-2 lead as they bat around in the first frame. So this one, a bit of fireworks here at the beginning. For Philly, it's going to be Manny Trio, Larry Bowa, and Bob Boone. This is going to be a base hit for Manny Trio, just a bouncer up the middle. And he's on at first base with nobody out. Brings Larry Bowa to the plate. 16, this will be a deep fly ball to center field. Going back on Amos Otis, he settles under it, but he's at the warning track. And we'll call that F8 on the putout, but advancing to second base. Here's going to be Manny Trio. So that's a productive out for Larry Bowa. Brings up Bob Boone. 34 to Boone is going to be a single as he bounces one past the third baseman. And that's into left field. Let's see if there's a score on the play. And that's going to be Manny Trio. He's a 1-6. They're sending him around. Oh, and he gets thrown out by the left fielder. So we're going to go 7-2 on the putout. And that'll be out number 2. So Bob Boone with the single. But Manny Trio cannot score from second as they try to push the envelope down by 2 runs. Brings up Pete Rose. A 45 is going to be a single, and that single goes to left field. And let's see if there's an error on the left fielder. And no error. So that'll push the runner to third with 2 outs. And that's a base hit for Pete Rose. Pete Rose now 2 for 2 in this game. Brings up Bake McBride. McBride with a chance to get Philly right back in it. A 13, though, is going to be a grounder. That goes to short. We'll go the short way on that. 6-4. And that'll be out number 3. Yeah. So a few hits in the inning, but Philadelphia can't get any runners home as they had a runner thrown out at the plate. And we head to the bottom of the second inning. Kansas City leads 4-2. Leading off is Willie Wilson. A 13 is going to be a ground out. A little tapper down the third baseline. Bob Boone makes a catch and a spin and a throw to get Willie Wilson, and that's a nice play by the catcher for out number 1. Frank White stands in. He's going to ground this one hard to the second baseman, but a good play by Manny Trio over to the first baseman, Pete Rose, who squeezes it for out number 3. Brings up George Brett. 2 quick outs in the inning, and Brett is going to strike out. This time he gets caught looking. And that's a 1-2-3 inning for Marty Bistrom. Good bounce back for both starting pitchers as we head to the top of the third. 4-2 is our score. Kansas City in the lead, hanging on for dear life in this World Series. 25, this will be to Schmidt, and then after him, Luzinski and Moreland. Schmidt with a double and a run scored already. This will be a fly out to straightaway center field. No error on the play. So on center field, Amos Otis makes the play, and that'll bring up Greg Luzinski. Luzinski, a strikeout victim in his first at bat. 12, he gets good wood on it, but hits it right to the shortstop. No problem at short for Washington, who gets the slow-footed Luzinski at first. Excuse me, and brings up Keith Moreland to the plate. Moreland, a 2-out RBI single in his last at-bat. This time he's going to fly out to left center field. There to make the catch is Amos Otis, and that's a 1-2-3 inning for Larry Gura as he sits down the Phillies, heart of the Phillies order in order in the third. Head to the bottom of the third. 4-2 is our score. It'll be Akins, McRae, and Otis for Kansas City. A 23 is going to be a ground out to first with an error check. No error on the plate. So a toss to the pitcher cover is going to lead to the first out of the inning. Hal McRae to the plate. He reached on an error by the left fielder Luzinski his last at bat. This time he's going to hit a bouncer to short. No problem there for Larry Boa as he makes the out to first. 2 down in the inning, and Amos Otis to the plate. Otis, an RBI single in his first at bat. He's going to fly out here. This goes to right center field. The error check is on Bate McBride. No problem out there as he makes the play. And another 1-2-3 inning, back-to-back 1-2-3 innings for Bistrom. As we head to the top of the 4th inning, we are in a tight one here, 4-2 Kansas City over Philadelphia. Philly's going to send up the bottom of their order, Maddox, Trio, and Boa. Maddox is going to get a hold of this one, as that's going to be a double ripped over the left fielder's head. One hops the wall, and Maddox is at second base. He's now 1 for 2. Manny Trio to the plate. He's got a single in this one. He got thrown out trying to score from second base. He's going to ground out here right back to the pitcher. Pitcher looks the runner back at second and throws over to first to get the first out. Larry Boa to the plate. He flied out in his first at-bat. This is going to be a strikeout of the looking variety. Yeah, that's 2 down in the inning as Boa now 0 for 2. Brings up Bob Boone. He had a single in his first at-bat. He's going to hit another single here. This one is to left center field. And there's an error as well. So that's going to be a single with a 1-base error on the left fielder. So that's going to score the runner from second base. He's going to score on the single. So that's an RBI and an earned run. And Bob Boone finds himself in scoring position with 2 outs, and Pete Rose coming to the plate. It's now 4-3. 36, that's going to be a base hit for Rose as he bounces it through the left side. And that will actually score Bob Boone from second. And that's going to tie us all up at 4 apiece. Pete Rose now 3 for 3. Clutch. Brings up Bate McBride. McBride 0 for 2. 14 is going to be a base hit. This one into left center field. That pushes Pete Rose to third. And Philly has 2 on with 2 outs. And their best hitter coming to the plate, Schmidt, 1 for 2 with a double. 25 is going to be a fly out to left field. No error on the play. And the left fielder is Willie Wilson. He'll make the catch. That'll be out number 3. But Philadelphia puts 2 more on the board, and they are right back in this one. We're tied at 4 as we go to the bottom of the 4th inning. Brings up Hurdle, Porter, and Washington for Kansas City. Glenn Hurdle, 1 for 2. He had a 2-run double in his first at bat. He's going to hit a little single. That's a base hit right up the middle. And he's at first with nobody out. 2 for 2 on the day. Brings up Darrell Porter to the plate. Porter, no official at bat. He walked his first time up. A 46 is going to be a double play as he grounds one to Boa. And we're going to go Boa to Trio to, who's the first baseman? Pete Rose. So that's a fielder's choice. And we go 6-4-3 on the putout. And that's going to be out, 2 outs in the inning. So base is clear now for UL Washington. Washington is going to hit a long single to right field. That actually turns into a double. So Washington puts himself into scoring position with that good speed. And that brings up Willie Wilson. 326 average, 3 home runs, 49 RBIs for Wilson. He gets a hold of this one. He drives it into deep right field. Going back on it is McBride. He reaches up at the warning track, and he makes the 3rd out catch. Who scores, or saves a run. So Kansas City gets some runners on board, but they can't get them around, and it is 4-4 as we go to the top of the 5th. Larry Gura can go 33 batters, so he's not really in danger of getting to that place right yet. This is going to be a ground out to the shortstop. Error check on UL Washington. He checks out. He's a plus, so only a 1 can be an error. So he makes a good throw to first to get Lazinski for the out. Next up, Keith Moreland. Moreland 1 for 2. He's going to bounce out right back to the pitcher. Larry Gura fields his position, gets it over to first. And that's going to be out number 2. Gary Maddox to the plate. He doubled and scored in his last at-bat, but this time he's going to strike out, and it will be looking as Larry Gura, not a strikeout machine, but he's got 3 Ks on the day so far. A 1-2-3 inning for Larry Gura and the Kansas City Royals. We head to the bottom of the 5th. We are tied at 4 in this Game 5. Philly up 3-1 in the series, and they're looking to put this one away. Up first is going to be Frank White, then George Brett, then Willie Aikens. 55 is going to be a foul out, and that goes to, we'll call it the second baseman who ranges over to the first baseline, and he's going to make the catch in foul territory, and that's going to be out number 1. As Frank White pops out to the right side. George Brett up. Brett is 0 for 1. He's got a walk and a strikeout. He gets wood on this one as he grounds it to the second baseman, Trio. Trio makes a nice catch, flips it over to first, and that'll be out number 2. So 2 down in the inning for Willie Aikens. Aikens 0 for 1. He hits this one hard and drives it into the right center field gap. Going back on it is Bake McBride. He makes another pretty catch at the wall, and that's going to be out number 3. Another 1-2-3 inning for Marty Bistrom, who is starting to put it together. It's 4-4 as we go to the top of the 6th. Larry Gura back out for a 6th inning of work. He'll face off against Trio, Boa, and Boone, bottom third of the order for Philadelphia, but Trio's going to lace one past the third baseman, Brett, into left field. Takes a big turn, but good job by Willie Wilson getting the ball in. Holds him to a single, and that's going to be Larry Boa to the plate. Let's go ahead and bunt with Larry Boa. He hasn't had a lot of success at the plate, but Boone has. So a 1 or a 2 is going to be a strikeout, otherwise it's a successful bunt. It is successful, and that'll move the runner over to second base. So runner in scoring position now for Bob Boone, who's 2 for 2. He has 1 RBI and 1 run scored. A 23 is going to be a walk. So 2 on, 1 out for Philadelphia, and Pete Rose to the plate. Rose 3 for 3 with 3 singles today. A 34, that's going to be another single. He laces one into the gap. Long single for him doesn't matter. He's going to be there at first, but the long single is going to score the runner from second base. And Pete Rose with another RBI single. He's got 2 of them, and that's also going to push the runner over to third base with 1 out. So Rose having a terrific day, 4 for 4, 4 base hits, 2 RBIs, and Philly takes a 5-4 lead. A 44 to Big McBride. It's going to be a walk. And that will load the bases for Mike Schmidt. Schmidt 1 for 3. A 35 is going to be another walk, and he walks in another run, or he walks in a run, and that will be an RBI. And I think that's going to be it for Larry Gura, as it's now 6-4 Philadelphia. So let's get a pitcher in here. We're in the 6th inning. Marty Patton has been pretty good when he's come into the game, so we'll get him into the game. Right-hander can go 10 batters, 3, 6, 8, 5th, and that's going to close out the day here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 hits in 5 1/3. Don't know how many runs total he's going to give up, but he's given up 3 walks, all of them this inning. 1, 2, 3 Ks. So Larry Gura, his day is over. We haven't cleared out his runs yet. He's given up 6 so far. Marty Patton comes into the game. Patton 4-0 record with a 3.64 ERA in 37 games in 1980. So he inherits a bases loaded 1-out situation. A 34 is going to be a long single down the right field line. Luzinski is going to knock home 2 runs and push that runner on first to third, and a 2 RBI single for Greg Luzinski breaks this one wide open. It's now 8-4 Philly over KC. And Moreland steps up. He is going to ground out to second base. That'll be a fielder's choice as second, just out number 2, and it's going to go 4-6 on the putout. So Moreland is at first base with 2 down. 4 runs already in for Philadelphia here in the top of the 6th. Has blown this one wide open. This is going to be another long single. It's actually going to turn into a double with his speed. And going to third base is Keith Moreland, and that'll bring up Manny Trio. Trio's got 2 hits and 3 at-bats. A 34 is going to be another hit. That's another long single. And Trio has good speed. That turns into a double. And that will score 2 more runs, as they've scored 6 in this inning. And this game is getting out of hand, as it's now 10-4 Philadelphia. Larry Boa to the plate, and they just keep rolling these 45s and long singles That's going to be for Larry Boa a hustle double. It's going to score another run. And it's now 11-4 Philly. Bob Boone to the plate. A 56 is going to be a strikeout, and mercifully this inning is going to end. But not before 7 runs come across. It's now 11-4 Philadelphia with a huge 7-run 6th inning. And Marty Bistrom feels pretty good about himself going out there with a 7-run lead. He'll face Hal McRae, Amos Otis, and Clint Hurdle. But here he's going to give up a triple to Hal McRae as McRae hits one into the right center field gap. Misplayed a little bit out there. Gets away from the right fielder, and McRae slides in safely to third with a leadoff triple. Amos Otis to the plate. He promptly strikes out with a runner at third and nobody out. And now it'll be a runner at third with 1 out for Clint Hurdle. Hurdle 2 for 2, but he's going to be struck out as well by Bistrom. Bistrom, decent strikeout rate, 15%. 2 down for Darrell Porter. Porter 23, that's a ground out to third. We have an error check. Schmidt is a plus fielder, and so he's going to make the throw to first. And Kansas City gets a leadoff triple from Hal McRae, but they can't get him home. And it is 11-4 Philadelphia over Kansas City. KC going to send Marty Patton back out there. Another 45 is going to be a single with an error check. Single to right field. No problem for the right fielder. Who is it? Clint Hurdle. So he gets it back in, but it's going to have... Pete Rose has a 5 for 5 day with 5 singles. And that brings up Bate McBride. Marty Patton leaves one out over the plate. Bate McBride deposits it into right center field as he turns on one. And this one just keeps getting uglier as Philadelphia is crushing Kansas City. 13 now to 4. Making an emphatic statement are the Phillies. To the plate is Mike Schmidt. He's going to take a walk. And Luzinski stands in. Luzinski with a 2-run RBI single in his last at-bat helped to break this one open. 23 is going to be a ground out to the shortstop. No error on the play, so it'll be the first out of the inning as they get the lead runner Schmidt at second base. Luzinski will be safe at first on a fielder's choice. Brings up Keith Moreland, more than 1 for 4. 56, he's going to strike out as Patton gets his second strikeout of the appearance. And that'll bring up Gary Maddox. Maddox with 2 doubles on the day. 44 is going to be a walk. And that'll put runners at first and second for Manny Trio. Trio, excellent day, 3 for 4. Couple RBIs, couple runs scored. A 36 is going to be another base hit to right field. And with 2 outs, that's going to be an RBI single. Coming home to score from second base is Greg Luzinski. And Larry Boa stands in. He had an RBI double last time. An 11, another single. This one is up the middle. And let's see if there's an error. No error on the play. That'll be an RBI single for Larry Boa. And going to third base is Manny Trio. Coming in to score is Gary Maddox. And Bob Boone with the walk. I really can't believe how many excellent rolls Philadelphia continues to get. as they're batting around in the 7th. A 26, that's going to be a grounder to first base. This will be the 3rd out of the inning. Takes it to the first base bag himself. That's Willie Aikens. And the 3rd out, but 4 more runs come in. 15-4 is our score here. Bit of a laugher. And it is the bottom of the 7th inning. We're going to move Marty Bistrom down 1 column because he has officially passed his stamina as he goes out for this inning. So I'm going to use my column adjustment over here, just the 24. That's really the difference there. And so a 26 is going to be a ground out right back to the pitcher. That's UL Washington. And the pitcher, Marty Bistrom, makes the play. 1 down in the 7th. And a 25 is going to be a fly out that goes to right center field. There's an error on the right fielder. That's Big McBride. So we're going to call that an E9. And Willie Wilson will be on. They're down by 11. They need a huge difference-making inning here. A 33 is going to be a ground out to the shortstop. They get the force out at second base for out number 2. And on at first is Frank White, who beats the throw to first. Georgia Brett to the plate. He's 0 for 2. 56 is going to be a walk. That's the way they can get back into this one, is get some runners on base and then pop one. We'll see if Willie Aikens can do it. He had 20 homers in 1980. A 36 is going to be a fly ball. This goes out to left field. No problem in left for Luzinski, who catches it for the out. Kansas City doesn't score any. They get a couple runners on in the 7th, and we head to the top of the 8th. It is 15-4, our score. Gonna get a new pitcher here, Randy Martin. Martin, a right-hander, can go 19 batters, sort of a swingman starter. 20 games started, 32 games pitched. 502 is his FIP. And they go 2/3 of an inning plus 1. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 hits. And let's see, those are two more runs come in. That should have been another run there. So should have been 8 runs. So there was even one that I missed. He should have come home on this ground out. We'll give him 2, 4, 6, 8, 9. 9 runs scored. We'll say 3, 6, 7 runs for him. He had a couple of walks. He had a couple of strikeouts. So just a pretty no good, very bad days for the Kansas City pitching staff. Face off against McBride, Schmidt, and Luzinski. This is a ground out to shortstop. And UL Washington makes the play. Brings up Mike Schmidt. Schmidt with 2 walks and a double. Has an RBI and a couple runs scored. 24 is going to be a ground out off of the pitcher. So another grounder to shortstop. And that's 2 outs here in the 8th inning. It's 16-4 as we readjust the score. And a 34 is going to be a long single for Greg Luzinski, who is on base again as he hits a single into right center field. He's now got a couple hits on the day, a couple RBIs, and that'll bring up Keith Moreland. Fly out to left field. I'm not even going to do the error check on this one. So Willie Wilson makes the catch, and that is the top of the 8th inning. We head to the bottom of the 8th. KC down by 12, facing off against Marty Bistrom, who's going to try to close this one out. A 26 goes to the batter card, Hal McRae. That's a single with an error check. So a single to right field, center field. And McRae will be on with a base hit. He's 2 for 4. Amos Otis stands in. He's got a hit in 3 trips. A 13 is going to be a ground out to the first baseman. Going to get the fielder's choice at second. And they can't complete the double play as Amos Otis beats it out at first. I'm going to go 3-6 on that fielder's choice. That brings up Clint Hurdle. Hurdle 2 for 3. Double, a single, and a strikeout. 33 is going to be nothing, and off of Hurdle's card, that's a fly out into left center field. No problem for the left fielder, Greg Luzinski, who's in the gap and makes a catch. And that'll bring up final hope in the 8th inning for Kansas City. A 56 is going to be a strikeout as Darrell Porter strikes out looking. And Marty Bistrom throwing a gem so far, as he gave up the 4 runs early, but has completely shut down this Kansas City offense since then. 16-4 is our score as we go to the top of the 9th inning. Let's see if Rennie Martin can close this out. A 46 is going to be a fly out to Gary Maddox as he flies out to center field, and that's out number 1. Manny Trio to the plate. 24 for Trio is going to be a walk. That comes off the batter card, or the pitcher card. First walk issued by Rennie Martin. He's got a 12% walk rate, so ouch. This is going to be a grounder to the second baseman. They get the fielder's choice at second. And on at first, beating the throw to first, is going to be Larry Boa. So 2 down with a runner at first base, and Bob Boone stands in. Boone a couple of hits, a couple of walks, and he's going to take another walk here. And that brings up Pete Rose. Pete Rose, 7th at bat in this one. This will be a foul out, and that will be fouled down the third base line as he pops it up the other way into foul territory. Is the shortstop, and he's going to make the catch for out number 3. So Rennie Martin, the worst pitcher to come in this game, sits down the Phillies in the final 2 innings. We head to the bottom of the 9th inning. Marty Bistrom's going to try to close this one out. He's now in the final column, and he'll face off against Washington, Wilson, and White. So a 15, that's going to be a base hit. So UL Washington gets on with the base knock. Brings in Willie Wilson. The 33 for Wilson is going to be a home run as he cranks one down the right field line. And 2-run homer. Gives Kansas City 6 runs, and they're going to go ahead and bring in Tug McGraw just to finish this one up. Lefty can go 6 batters, 2.36. is his FIP, and that'll close the day. On Marty Bistrom, who goes 8 innings. Goes up 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 hits, 6 runs. Don't know how many of those were earned. I'm not going to figure all that out. 2 walks. And 1, 2, 3, 4 Ks. So excellent job by Marty Bistrom, who pitches another gem in this one. 6 runs is not great, but he goes 8 innings. Tug McGraw comes in to try to finish this one off. A 26 is going to be a base hit, and no error on the play. So a 26 should have been a ground out. I'm sorry, to Frank White. The ground out goes to the first baseman, and there's no error. So we'll say 3-1 on the putout. That's out number 1. Sorry, I had the wrong card. Brings up George Brett to the plate. Brett 0 for 2. 46 is going to be a strikeout. So tough time to have a tough game for George Brett. It's 16-4. We got one more out, and this World Series is over. And it's Willie Aikens to the plate. He hits a fly ball that goes out to right center field, and catching it for the third out is going to be the center fielder, Gary Maddox. He puts this one away, and Philadelphia is going to win this series 4-2. I'm sorry, 4-1 in 5 games, as they win this one 16 to they scored 2 there, right? 16-6. And a little bit of a anticlimactic game here, but the loss is going to go to Larry Gura, and that is all she wrote for the 1980 World Series. I appreciate you hanging in for the entirety of these 1980 playoffs. You can find the playlist here on the YouTube channel and see all the games and how they played out. There were some pretty exciting ones along the way. There were some blowouts. There were a lot of close games, well-pitched games between both the ALCS, NLCS, and then now in the World Series. So Philadelphia takes home the World Championship in Game 5 of the 1980 World Series with a decisive 16-6 victory, as everybody goes off, including Manny Trio, who had a great series, by the way. And hard to pick a player of the game here. Maybe Marty Bistrom is the easy one. He goes 8 innings. He does give up 6 runs, but a little bit of a bookend. He gives up 2 in the 9th, 4 in the 1st, and then nothing through the rest of the game. This is played using the 1980 season set for On Base Baseball. With that season set, you get the cards, you get the game engine chart for the 1980s, and you also get these player roster sheets. So these are the pitchers, and these are the batters. You can see that all of this material is found on the cards and on the game engine, well, not on the game engine chart, but they're found on the cards, so that you can play the game using the roster sheets, or you can use the individual cards, whatever you want. You also get 2 kinds of score sheet. This one is based off of at-bats, but there's also one for a traditional inning by inning score sheet. And you also get the game guide that comes with the game. I was thinking there was one more thing that you get in there, but I don't believe so. So that game is $15 per season. You get everything you need inside the season. So when you buy a season set, you get everything for the game. No need to purchase anything else. And you can get that at clarkandaddisongaming.com. If you have any questions or comments, leave them down in the comments section below. If you like this video, just give it a thumbs up. If you really like it, share it with somebody you know. Tell them about On Base Baseball. It's a terrific game. It plays very quickly and very easily, but it's kind of a vanilla game that you can add whatever you want to the game. So if you want to add more depth in the base running or the fielding or the pitching or whatever areas you want to add more depth to the game, then the numbers are there for you to use, and just draw up a little chart. Hey, I'd really like to incorporate catcher arms, or I'd really like to incorporate taking extra bases in a little bit more detailed way. Create a chart, or bring in charts from other games and just roll off of those charts. There was a suggestion on the roll of the 10 on the D10 dice that triggers rare plays or highlight plays or something like that. Bring those in if you have it from another game. The game of Dice Baseball, which is also one of my games, has a terrific sort of highlight special play system. Quick Play Baseball has its own like highlight special plays as well. So you can bring those in and just make something trigger it. We got 3 dice here, so you can trigger those with something. And feel free to write symbols in on the cards. You know, if it's you want to roll for every ground out where there's a runner at first base, and you want to roll against the batter's speed rating to see if they double them up. Instead, I always take the lead runner out, but you could just as easily roll for the double play, and then they're automatic double plays. So if you want to incorporate more double plays into the game, you can, and that would certainly do it. The number is here for you to use. You just roll against the batter speed rating just like you would for stealing, and then decide, does he make it to first or not. So there's lots of like little details that you could add into the game that are going to give you a little bit more specificity. I talked about adding this ground balls chart with runners on base. It's set for a 3D10, but I've also done it for 2D6s and 2D10s as well. So that would be easy to incorporate. You would just need to roll for the double plays a little bit differently because that's for a different game. Otherwise, I think you're good to go on this one. Go get the season set. We have lots of other seasons as well, from the 1940s all the way to today. So trying to cover as much ground as possible with on-base baseball, and then fill in with older seasons. There's also play action football and up-tempo basketball. The game of Dice Baseball is one of my games as well. The game of dicebaseball.com. There's a quick play game where the game fits. Quick Play Baseball, it fits into a tuck box just like this. So you can see that's the game engine chart. Folds up really nicely with the deck of cards, and then you can use that as the this is all you would need to play a game, but you can also do a quick play version that incorporates these situation cards into the game itself. So you have these different situations, so you can incorporate those, put a rubber band around that, and you're good to go. Very portable game. And you can play fast, medium, or a full play, sort of turn by turn, like you normally would in a baseball game, at bat by at bat. So a pretty fun game, and that one doesn't cost too much. It's $10, I think, and you get, for a Quick Play Baseball, you buy in eras. So you buy 15 to 17 seasons at a time, and so you get all the players rated for the era, not just for a season. So that's probably one of my better values. For $10, you can play a lifetime of tabletop baseball for $10, and just a deck of cards and the situation cards. So pretty cool. All right, if you haven't subscribed to the channel, click on subscribe. If you again want to share this, feel free to share about the channel, about the game. We'd love to grow it. We're almost to 200 subscribers, so that's pretty good in the first year. And if you want to join the Facebook group, you can go to Facebook groups and look up Clark and Addison Gaming Company and join the Facebook group. Sometimes I have some special coupons and special things that are added just there. Different questions that I ask, and trying to create a little bit of community around all the Clark and Addison games. And be sure to go dig around the website and see what's there. There's some free things that you can download and games you can try, and also some free resources that you can use with different games as well. So That's it. 1980 World Series playoffs is over. Philadelphia is the big winner, just like in real life. And we are going to close up this one. I appreciate everybody's support of On Base Baseball and all of the games that I've created. Continue to get out there and try new stuff and tell people about what's going on kind of in the underground, not the big two gaming companies. For those of us who are just starting out and just trying to get our feet into the waters, this has been a good start. So I really appreciate everybody. The best way that you can support people is to just support what they're doing. Talk to them, buy their games, find out what's going on, share it with other people, tell people how much you've enjoyed playing this game or that game or whatever it is. And we got lots of different channels for you to be able to share content, share your own content, share their content, just kind of getting the word out. That's how it's done these days. So I really appreciate everybody who's done those things. All right. I think that's it from here. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you again next time.